Welcome to the second edition of Our City, where I'm pleased to be joined by Miss Linda Flores-Tober and Mr. Mike Jones of the Elizabeth Coalition to Shelter the Homeless. Linda, Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, and
Thanks
Happy
for
New
having
Year.
us, Mayor.
Now, Linda, you've been on the show before, and you're the executive director. But would it be okay if I start with Mike? Because the guy gets
Sure.
involved in everything now. Mike, you get retired and you're everywhere. What's going on? How did you get hooked up with the coalition? You're everywhere.
I retired from the Elizabeth Police Department, obviously, as you know, and I just feel like the city of Elizabeth has been great to me and my family and has given me a lot, and I feel that I should be doing something to give back to the city as well.
So, but you're also the athletic director at Benedictine Academy, right? I mean,
Correct. I'm the AD of Benedictine Academy and basketball coach, and I teach a few classes over there. So, like I said, I'm an Elizabeth guy, and I love the city of Elizabeth, and this is my way of giving something back.
Well, getting involved in the coalition is a great cause. These folks do nice work. I've been working with Linda now for my term as mayor and when I was on the city council. So,
Yeah.
Linda, what are you there, 30 years?
25 years this past July 3rd.
25 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Long
your
time.
daughter grew up,
Both
right?
my kids grew up in...
Both of them grew up.
They're here in Elizabeth and at the coalition.
Right.
So
Linda, give us the definition of the coalition to house the homeless, because you're much more than an organization that just says, hey, I don't have a home. You're more than that. You do life training and a lot of other things.
yeah, well, that's really kind of how people come to us. They say, I don't have a place to live, I'm having a problem with my landlord or making my rent. And our real goal is to help people become self-sufficient so they don't need to come back. It's hard with given the economic atmosphere right now. That's why the programs of your previous interview are so important. But what we really try to do is build families so that they become self-sufficient.
Yeah, and my daughter Jacqueline was over there, and she met one of the students and reading to her last year. And it's interesting to see the camaraderie that exists among some of the young people as well.
Yeah, and we have wonderful volunteers, and they really give something to our folks that we work with. Your daughter was in Bernices Place, which is our after-school program for homeless youth. People don't realize how many people, families are living doubled up or homeless right here in Elizabeth and in the area. And those children are not able to do homework or have social life like other children, and Bernices Place really makes a difference. And they connect very much with the young folks. So we have a lot of high school students.
She also brought her friend Jayla with her too. The two of them were reading stories.
They had a good time.
We got to get them back there.
Absolutely.
I agree. Mike, tell us about your involvement in this event that we're having. You're an old sports guy, so
I am.
You helping put this together, Mike?
I'm a basketball guy, and
I know you were. Can you still shoot, Mike? You used to be able to. Should I say it like that, Mike, or no?
We all get better shooters as we get older.
Is that what it is,
We all
Mike?
become better as we're older, or at least the memories are better. But I've been involved with Linda in the coalition for, I would say, 4 years?
4 years.
About 4 years. And since I am kind of a basketball guy, this is the event that I really...
Tell the truth, Mike. You played in high school, right? Did you play in college?
Yes, I did play in college. Yes, I did.
Yeah, so you played a lot of hoops.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. And I always played in Elizabeth leagues and things like that. I am very familiar with the Elizabeth and Union County sports scene. We've got a great lineup coming up. We've got Roselle Catholic Cranford, a girls' game in the tournament, in the games for the first time. Roselle Catholic Cranford, and Roselle Catholic, I think, is ranked 1 in the county and one of the top teams in the state. So I think that it's great that we're getting our young women involved, young women athletes. I think it's just a fantastic thing. We've got Elizabeth Linden, and Linden is always one of the top programs in New Jersey. Elizabeth is always really competitive. And we've got St. Mary's of Elizabeth and Union Catholic in the final game at 6:30. And I think it's great that, obviously we get the Elizabeth teams in, but we're bringing in people from the other side of the county to help support this organization. And it's a really worthy cause.
So tell us the time of these games, Mike.
We kick off with the girls' game at 3 o'clock. It'll be followed, that's Roselle Catholic Cranford. Then it's followed up by Elizabeth Linden at 4:30, and the last game is St. Mary's Union Catholic. And all should be very competitive games.
And the games are held where, Mike?
Games will be held at Dunn Center, right at Elizabeth High School.
And what's the date?
The date of it is January 30th.
So this is a citywide effort, Linda, and you get a lot of other people involved as well.
We get excited about that. To me, a community event is what it's all about. And so businesses sponsor the game. We have volunteers from different businesses, from schools, from the community come in and help us in the concession stands. We have Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops. Some of the high school clubs at Elizabeth High School come. The Key Club comes in and they help us.
Interact Club, I
the
think
Interact.
right.
I'm aging, aren't I? Dating myself. But the Interact Club comes and helps us sell chances. So it's a real community effort.
And Linda, how many years are we doing this now?
This is our 22nd game.
22nd year.
Yeah.
And the excitement of the people who work at the coalition, because I see a lot of the volunteers from the coalition come out to this game as well.
Yes, we have some of the college students come and help us, as well as the high school students, and many of the people who are just connected to the coalition, board members.
Mike, years ago, or maybe it was last year when there was a snowstorm, didn't the cops play the firemen in one of the makeup games or something for the coalition?
Yeah.
Correct. We held a kind of a smaller version of it at Benedictine Academy. We had the Elizabeth Police and Firemen, we had the Union County Corrections Officers, the Sheriff's Department, and I think PSE&G sponsored a couple of teams. It was a really great event, and we will be doing a follow-up. We will be doing something similar to that. It was such a success last year. We'll be doing the same thing in March with
Snow's
the
not
police,
gonna, yeah.
police
The
organizations.
police are right. Snow's not going to get
It's
involved.
not going to snow in January this
No,
year.
it's not going to
Except for
snow at all.
tomorrow.
Right. So, Linda, where do the proceeds go to the game?
The proceeds go to the families that we work with. So we use those funds to help our families. We put families in hotels, or we provide them with first month's rent, and whatever they really need in order to get that boost and to become independently housed.
So the program helps anyone on the edge that comes
Exactly.
to your service.
Absolutely.
And it must be difficult picking and choosing, right? Do you have to say, even your organization must have to say no, right?
Mostly we say no because we run out of money, and that's the real issue. The funds for those things are, they're finite. And so it's real important to be able to raise the money to make sure people can get the boost they need.
And Mike, is there anything else besides just basketball? Is there other entertainment before or after this game? You going to get out and play? What's the other entertainment, Mike?
Well, I don't think anybody's interested in watching me play, to be honest.
They were years ago, though.
Yes, they were. We're going to have, we are trying to get an a cappella group. We're going to have a DJ, little a cappella group, maybe to sing something in between games. You know, obviously the national anthem. So it should be good entertainment for everyone.
There's a 50-50 too going
Of
on.
course.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Is there one, or is it one for each game? How do you structure that?
I think there's one at the end.
Okay, one at
Yeah.
the end. So how much are the tickets, and where can they be purchased?
Tickets for adults are $10. For school students, it's $5, but if they get them in advance, and their high schools will be selling them, they're $3.
Oh, so the high schools are going to sell these then?
Yeah.
Because my daughter goes to Union Catholic, so maybe she'll be there to watch the game.
Oh, that would be great.
They always bring a crowd with them.
Union Catholic does, right?
Union Catholic, always.
And how do you get more information on this, Mike or Linda?
You can call you can call the coalition 908-355-2060 extension 201.
Okay.
Or you can go on our website,
So
which is the Elizabeth Coalition.
I just want one more time, if you can give us a time for these games, by the way.
All right, it's January 30th at the Dunn Center in Elizabeth, and the times are 3, that'll be Roselle Catholic Cranford, followed by Elizabeth Linden at 4:30, and St. Mary's of Elizabeth and Union Catholic at 6:30.
Now, Linda, this is a fundraiser. You do a lot of fundraisers, and we have a few more minutes left. Tell us about the effort of the coalition and how you're doing in meeting the need of homeless people in our community. It becomes difficult, and
Well, we have I think we've been doing really well in meeting the need. We had a really busy December. We had over 500 people come through our office. And yet, I would say by and large, we're able to meet the need. Right now, we have Operation Warm Heart open, so we're able to go out on the streets, do some outreach to the folks living on the streets, and get them to come in and start working with them, and hopefully get them on the path.
Linda, do you run into people on the streets that just don't want to come in?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
They do, and they're tough. And I think it's not because they don't want to be. Everyone wants to have a place to call home. But the problem is they have many barriers to be able to say the yes. And our goal is to work with them and to develop a relationship with them so they can make that yes.
Yeah, and because homelessness is an issue in New York papers lately, and it's constantly saying they're doing this, they're doing that, and then you have the others who say, well, they're not doing enough.
Well,
when do you know?
In New York, I think the big issue is that the shelters are dangerous. I think in Union County, the issue is we don't have enough shelter beds that are available to our folks, and that's a big issue.
And the coalition is also involved in transitional housing.
Yes, we have 3 houses that we provide transitional housing to working homeless families. In the state of New Jersey, if you are not on public assistance, most of the shelters are not able to take the people in. And so what happens if you're working, you can't get into the shelters. And so we reserve our 7 units for folks who are working so that they have an opportunity to save money and become self-sufficient.
And move forward on that. So Mike, switching gears a little bit, tell us about Benedictine Academy's basketball team, the girls team, how they doing this year, what are your expectations?
We're actually on an uptick at Benedictine. Things are going very well. We're 5-5 currently. I expect this year that we'll win 17 or 18 games, and we are competitive, and I think that at Benedictine we do it the right way. I know there's an issue in the state now about recruiting and things like that.
I've been reading a lot about that with the NJSIA.
Yeah, and we don't do that at Benedictine. I am a firm believer that every kid, if they want to play a sport, they should be able to play a sport. We really don't, we very rarely have ever cut a kid at Benedictine Academy. If you want to play, there's a sport there for you to play.
Good.
So we're really on an upswing.
Well, Mike, I thank you for your work with Benedictine Academy. It's
Mayor,
a great
thank
high
you.
school in Elizabeth, and
Thank you.
Also for joining the board here at the coalition. And I wish you good luck in all of your endeavors.
Always nice to see you, Mayor.
And Linda, thank you for your efforts as usual. You've been on the show many times, and appreciate your effort on those that are at risk and on the edge, and those flat out don't have a home. So thank you for your efforts.
Well, thank you for your support.
Thank you. I want to thank Linda Flores-Tober and Mike Jones for joining me on the show, as well as Mr. Dent, who was on the first part of the show. And we'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kane University.